Michigan Antique and Collectible Festival is back this weekend, and this morning we have Courtney Belanti, who is an antique dealer and a picker. Courtney, we're excited to talk to you because Picking Michigan is your company, and you are actually, describe for everybody what a picker is.
So as a picker, you kind of never know what you're going to be walking into. You could be walking into a really nice estate or something that hasn't really been able to be maintained in a few years. So you have to be flexible with what you're gonna find and what you're gonna buy and where you're gonna have to go. I always keep gloves and a mask and boots in my car, and I'm normally covered in cobwebs. So
you are going into, are you going to estate sales, or where do you go to find your treasures?
So most of my picks are private. People will call me out. Maybe someone's passed away, or they're just looking to downsize a bunch of stuff and get rid of it. A picker is someone you don't have to apologize to. You don't have to say, I'm sorry about the mess, or I'm sorry about this. We'll climb over stuff. We'll dig through stuff. It's all fine. It's all fair game.
And how do you know when you have discovered something that's valuable? And I guess it's not necessarily monetarily valuable, but it can be valuable in different ways.
Yeah, so as a picker, I can't be real choosy, but if something speaks to me, then I know that I can present it in a way that, will intrigue other people. So I look for things that remind me of a certain time or a certain place or a person, and then that's what people are drawn to. That's what people want. They want a memory or to remember a different time or era.
And this is stuff that people have just accumulated. Sometimes they don't even know they have it, right?
Yeah, they set it aside years ago, and it's under 3 layers of boxes, and you have to dig it out and pull it up and clean it up before you present it. So.
And do some of the items have antique value to them too?
Yeah, there's certain items here, that like the inkwell set, like that's a genuine antique piece that would be collected, and
that's this one here.
Yeah, these were made to be beautiful and set on desks, and those would be something you'd see in an antique store.
Right.
But then there are other pieces that still have value because they remind you of a certain time or place. Like, I love Michigan-related things. This is Wolverine potato chips, but it was made in Detroit, Michigan. And to have this on the shelf, to me, like, even though it might not be the most expensive piece on the table, it's probably my favorite piece on the table. And someone would just throw that away or get a dumpster. And so please call a picker or an antique dealer before you get a dumpster.
Yeah, because does a lot of this stuff end up
a lot,
in the landfill?
People will call me like, oh, I threw dumpsters away before I called you, and I'm always like, no.
So before we get to more of the stuff on the table here, you're going to be at one of your favorite festivals this weekend.
Yes. I only do Davisburg Show, spring and fall. It's an amazing show. The Springfield Oaks Fairgrounds is beautiful this time of year. There's music, there's a car show. You don't have to be an antique dealer or a collector to enjoy it. Go enjoy the atmosphere, and you might, leave with that perfect gift for somebody or that perfect item for your shelf.
So let's just go through some of the other things you brought in. What do we have down here? It looks like a dental situation.
It's an old drafting set.
Oh, okay, good.
For engineers. Again, there's those things, someone will be like, I remember my grandfather using that, and then like the signs are always super popular, anything soda related. So this is like a Hires root beer thermometer. So
what's behind? What are these?
So these, I like apothecary and oddity pieces. So these are old beakers. I have a lot of medical oddities. Those, again, they remind you of a simpler time when like doctors came to your house or yeah. And then this is like from an old playground ride. Toy. So yeah.
Now, is some of the stuff like down here? So we have like a
butter
mixer.
churn.
Oh, butter churner.
Yeah.
Okay. And does some of the stuff does it ever get authenticated, or do you just kind of say, we think this is from this
era? It is hard now with so many reproductions, but when you've dug it out of like the back of an attic and a box full of like, that it's an older piece. But as a picker, you do a lot of research. I'm always researching the items, trying to find out what I can about them before I present them so I can tell the people the backstory and where they came from when they were made.
So cool. And you can just, just having this butter churner, you can just go back in time, right?
And that's a fun or funky one. I love the red top. And you see them, they're plain, but these, I was drawn to these because
they're here. They're telling me we got to go. Okay. Courtney, thank you. We put all the information up there. It is, the website is miantiquefestival.com.
Yes.
Good
Thank
stuff.
you.
Thanks for coming in and bringing this. It was so fun.
Thanks for having me.
We'll be right back.